everyone, and welcome to Choose Your Lane, a ForeverWena series. I'm your host, PD Jokes, and this is Couples and More. I want to encourage you guys to please join in the conversation. I want you to be typing, share the link with all your friends so that we know which lane you want to be in. Are you on lane number 1, where you agree, neutral, where you are neutral, or lane number 3, where you disagree? Without wasting more time, let's meet our people.
Hi, I'm Ruby.
And I'm Masikole Shaula, aka Max.
We've been together for 4 years and still going strong.
Hi everyone, I am Rohumulizo Kwele.
And I'm Mudisa Kwele.
And we've been together for 13 years, but married for 5 years.
Hi, my name is Aliston Pillay.
My name is Priscilla Aubrey. We've been dating for 3 years.
Hi everyone, my name is Edwina Faria.
My name is Paulo Faria, and we've been married 5 years.
Here is your first statement. It's impossible to know what your partner truly wants until you have explored other options. It's time to choose your lane. So just to make sure that you guys understand the statement, it's impossible to truly know what you want in a partner until you've explored different relationships. Ooh. Bakshia Puti. Okay, start with you guys. Why do you guys agree?
Well, I agree because being in previous relationships, you understand much better yourself and how to handle your what you want in specifically. Also, being in previous relationships, you know now the highs and the lows, and it's more important to know what you want.
The common idea of being in a relationship is obviously being in love, is because the idea you are in love with someone. But being in love with someone means that you're going to need to learn them, understand them, grow with them inside. So in that process, it's a thing of in getting to know those people, what is it that you can tolerate, what is it that you cannot tolerate. So it's just that type of a situation thing. So I would agree.
Along the way, you find out who really you want to be with. So.
Yeah.
I see your partner standing on the other side of the spectrum. Maybe you in between about this thing. Tell us why.
Well, I do agree, hence why I'm neutral. I agree and disagree at the same time. I think it's important to first know who you are as a person. Know what are your needs and what are your wants. You don't have to go exploring and dating 5 people in order for you to know that I need this type of person, because everyone is an individual. Yep. Everybody has their own type of personality. If you end up going to the next person, that person doesn't have the same personality as the previous person. So it's going to be completely different as the previous relationship. So it's all about what you want, your standards, and once you have your standards, then you can definitely navigate around it. And a relationship is a two-way street. It's about giving and taking. So if the person has different standards, then you would maybe need to compromise a little bit in that relationship, but it doesn't take you having dated a number of people.
I see, hubby, you have your defense mode on. Tell us why, because your wife is right there.
Not quite defense mode, but for me, I've always known what I wanted, right? Even when I was still young, in my teenage years, I've sort of known what love is based off of what I've seen through my parents and those that were much older than me. I'm a hopeless romantic. She knows it. And so I've always known, no matter who I dated, there's a specific need that I have, irrespective of how many girls I may have dated, but I always knew what I wanted. So it didn't take me to date so many people to figure out, is this what I want? Is this not what I want? Is that type of attitude I'm looking for in a person?
Yeah.
No, I know what I want. The needs are there. Hence now I'm married and I know what she has all that I need.
Yeah, but what about the sexual aspect of this?
Okay, so if I can be open and frank with everybody, that's why I didn't explore the sexual aspect, because for me, sex didn't determine who I'm going to be with.
True.
Who I'm going to marry is who I'm going to enjoy. We're going to figure out sex together, right?
Yes.
It's going to be a journey, just like life is a journey, marriage is a journey. So let's work at it and let's have that open communication. If I don't like certain things, then I'll let you know. If you don't like it, you let me know. We will discover sex together. That's just where I stand.
Growing up for me, looking at my parents, looking at their relationship, I knew from the beginning, because I'm a Christian and I believe in the Bible. So I know exactly like a Proverbs 31 girl that I want.
Yes.
So it's not necessary for me to say that I need to explore to find that, because you'll obviously find that in the house of God.
Amen.
You meet someone, in my case it was like, oh, she's pretty, she's sexy, I want something. And then I realized like, oh, she's pretty, but she's crazy. You know? So you have to decide like how much crazy you want, how much pretty you want.
Yeah.
But when I found her, I knew that this is the one.
Well, for me, I'm a very picky person. I didn't date a lot, but the people that I dated, I knew that it can't work, it won't work. And now you can't force yourself to be in somewhere that you're not happy about. So you need to leave and go and look for something else. So it's really important to explore before. You don't want to get married to a person that's wrong, a psychopath. You need to explore.
Your next statement is, it's okay to have different sexual preferences than your partner. It's time to choose your lane. Let's start with you, ma'am.
There's a lot that I personally didn't know. So hubby introduced me to these magic things.
Wait a second. What you just said made people switch. Couples. Let's start with you, sir. Why did you switch?
Exploring in that sense, I agree. I can't say much, but yeah.
I also agree. I think it's, we have different needs and different wants. So yeah, different preferences is a given.
Agreed. We all have different needs, right? And my wife needs to be satisfied a particular way, and I've got to be satisfied a particular way. So we do need to communicate exactly what I want and how I want it and how you also want it, right?
Yes, and that's basically how it is in our relationship. We if one person's not satisfied yet, we'd talk about it and be like, no, I'm not yet satisfied. Can you please satisfy me in this way, in this manner, or wait, or do something else.
Okay.
And communication is key.
I disagree. I totally disagree. Like when you enter in a relationship, some things like there are some sacrifices that we have to make. Rather, let's say you leave, then go get that whatever that you feel like that you are not being satisfied with.
Isn't it like you like orange juice and she likes apple juice?
Nah.
It's completely different. If your preference is different from hers, you can always compromise and learn what she wants.
Which is why there's a process of getting to know each other. You see, that phase is very important. I mean, we want to get married now, and then I'm learning that in our marriage that there's something that I'm not satisfying her. Now I have to learn to satisfy her in our marriage. You see, if I'm going back to something else that I wasn't prepared for. If it can't work, it can't work. Peacefully like that.
So can I ask for you guys, if you don't mind? So if you want to have sex, say, 8 times a day, is she on the same page with you?
Yes.
All right. So if you want certain positions, she's okay with that, according to what he wants and vice versa. I just want to find out.
Why I disagree?
Yes.
My partner and I, when we first dated, we didn't have sex for a year. We dated first before we jumped into having sex and all those things. We got to know each other, went on dates, we even spoke about sex multiple times, tried to learn each other. I wanted to know if I can handle what he wants, and he wanted to know if he can handle what I want before we engage in any of those things, so that we don't waste each other's time.
So you're telling me that when you guys started dating, your preferences were par for par, the same?
Yeah, not really, but yeah. We really wanted to learn each other sincerely. That experience, it was there that I've had this girlfriend, I've had that one. But now the thing was, in what I've had before, what is it that I want now? It was a thing of, she understood it.
So tell me then, if you guys were to get married, and then either of you guys' sexual preference changes, how will that affect the relationship?
When I come home and say, "Ish, babe, there's this new position I want to try." If you don't like it, we'll never do it. It's fine. But if he says, "Ish, babe, it's too much. I don't like this. I think we should let's not do that." Sex is not everything. for us.
Just listening to that, for me, like serving one another has always been a topic that we talk about. And that's also what I want to take into marriage as well, because I think we have to compromise with each other, because we're just two different people. I like different series, she likes different series, we eat different foods, you know, so it's that compromise and willingness to serve one another, because that's what love is about, is serving and sacrificing for one another.
I prefer seafood and chicken at the same time. It's the same thing, let's be certain. Your next statement is, I'm okay when my partner asks me about my sexual history. It's time to choose your lane.
Why are you following me?
All yeses.
Yes.
Let's start with you guys.
Before we got married, we spoke about, our past, what we've done. I think it was important before getting into marriage so that there's nothing that comes up in the middle of our marriage and then we're shocked. So yeah, it was an important conversation for us to have.
Yeah, it was, and quite an emotional one, because we were about to get married, and here you are telling me about all these other guys. I'm like, okay, all right, so I'm not going to be your first. Okay, but anyway, it was important. It helped us to take that next leap of, commitment to one another, that trust between each other, that is nothing hidden in the closet. We're out, and this is us. We're starting afresh. We're married. Let's go.
Being open and honest about it, it's just a natural thing. Especially if you're getting into a serious relationship and it's somebody that you want to, really settle down with. I think it's an important topic just to disclose, and just so everything is out in the open.
Me and my wife, when we met, we were friends. We would talk about partners and everything, and that's actually what made us realize, like, we're good together. We can make it. We want the same things in life, yeah.
Yes.
For me, he's never asked, but I'm fine even if he asks. I'm open to say anything because I have nothing to hide. We met young, so there's really not like a history there. So yeah, I agree.
Well, it is not really a comfortable questions to be answering, but I do support it that it's something that, that couples should do. If you call yourself that you have a partner, and that you call that person your partner, if you feel like there's something you would want to know, and even if it's sexual, even if it isn't, it's important to know. Why not?
So if, let's say, she were to ask, do you think any response she gives you, there might be a deal breaker there?
No, not really, no.
Once you know that you're in a relationship with someone, you should already know that, you need to be really open and fully, truthful with everything.
And how do you guys as partners have the STI conversation?
Not so much STI for us, it's more our statuses, where we're standing. I think whilst we were dating, we were already just doing health checks, full body health checks, including HIV tests, so that we knew that we were always negative. And not that we were doubting if we were promiscuous.
It was part of the health check to do an HIV test. And we would do it in the same room. The nurse would ask us, are you sure you want your partner in the same room? We're like, yes, we're sure, because we know our status. We weren't fearful of the results at all. So not the STI chat, but the HIV chat, yes.
Here is your next statement. My sexual health is my responsibility, regardless of my relationship status. It's time to choose your lane.
Irrespective of the relationship status, I just think, like, for myself, I'm always conscious about how healthy I am, internally, externally, whether I exercise, whether I'm sexually active or not. I just need to know that I'm sort of in a good bar so that I can live a long life, literally. That's what I'm caring about.
You need to have a conscious mind. You need to know that, you need to take care of yourself so that you can make sure that your partner is also healthy.
And I mean, guys, we can't all be naive, because we know that people do have slip-ups in relationships. Cheating is a thing. So how do you guys, feel about that?
If you cheat, I'm leaving.
Hi, boo.
She's leaving.
Your next statement is, emotional intimacy can exist without physical intimacy, vice versa. It's time to choose your lane. Oh, there's a division right here. Let me start with you, my brother.
I have no idea of emotional intimacy. I have no idea. I only have an idea of physical intimacy, but emotional intimacy, so I'll just stick here.
Sister, you are nodding like you have something to add to what he's saying.
I'm understanding his point, that he's just not an emotional person, maybe. So that's why maybe he doesn't get the emotional aspect of being in a relationship without having sexual relations. Yeah.
Why do you agree?
I'm emotionally attracted to my wife as much as I am physically. And sometimes we may not have sex for a day or two, and I'm still okay because emotionally that's just enough for me because she's just everything I consume. She consumes my mind, let me put it that way, yeah.
And also it took us 4 years actually before we actually became intimate with each other. So we already formed that bond, that emotional bond before we became sexually active.
That's it.
So what you guys are saying, are you saying that you can be physical with each other without being emotional? Or vice versa?
Sometimes when me and my wife fight, we might hate each other, but the sex is good.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Probably the best sex,
But you're
right?
still emotional, but there's still an emotion there.
Yeah.
Yes, there's still
Attached to it.
emotion.
You still love her.
Yeah, obviously I still love her.
So you're letting it out on her through sex.
Sounds like you guys are having different opinions. Are you sure you're on the right lane?
Yes,
I'm not sure.
What do you guys think at the back?
I think the basis of our relationship is that emotional intimacy that we really, really rely on one another in that aspect. So, yeah.
And she's a crybaby, so say anything to her.
Well, I'm curious to know, ma'am, for the first time this round, you're not with your partner. Why do you disagree?
I disagree because according to me, it's either you can have both or none. I can't be physically intimate with you without being emotionally intimate with you. It's either I have to be both or nothing. If there's no connection between us sexually, I won't be emotionally attracted to you.
What, do you guys agree?
I kind of get you. Sex is an emotional activity.
Yes.
I can't imagine it not being so emotional, not being so free, so enticing. It becomes fun like that. It becomes amazing if we are both emotional and performing this amazing thing. So that's how I view it as well.
Yeah.
My brother, you can't change your mind. She's still here. Yeah? No?
I'm some fun.
You wanted to add?
Oh, I think that's just the difference between having sex and making love. When you make love, that's when the emotions and everything
all that energy
comes into play. And having sex is just playtime.
Exactly.
Just to throw a spanner in the works. So you're telling me that couples who are married never have sex?
If there's infidelity, for instance, in the marriage or in the relationship, if one of us is cheating, if we're still going to have sex together, it's not going to be love anymore. I think we're just doing this because I just need to release. As a man, I've got needs, and I need to do this thing because doing it by myself in a small, confined room in the bathroom does not do it all, right? I mean, guys, I'm right. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Your next statement is, I believe in traditional gender roles in my relationship. It's time to choose your lane. And I see there, my brother, you're alone. Why do you agree?
I was raised in the traditional customs ways, like I'm from Eastern Cape, Xhosa and what so on. So I believe even in a relationship, we should practice those traditional aspects. When you are a man, you have to show those traditional ways of yourself being a man in a relationship. And also when you're a woman in a relationship, show that thing with you are the woman of the house in a relationship. So I kindly support it like that. Cool.
Girlfriend? You're on the opposite.
I am in the opposite. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I have to agree to everything you're saying. If you're wrong, you're wrong. If you're right, you're right. I feel like respect is earned as well. You do things, if your partner is doing things that are wrong, there's no way you just respect. We're not in the 70s anymore. This is 2024. We are equal. But yes, of course, you're a man, you're on top of me. But in other aspects, we are equal, and we have to be in this relationship like we are best friends, not like you are the king and I'm the servant. No, that's my opinion, babe. I disagree.
And your partner is this side and you're in neutral.
Yes, growing up in a colored home and dating a Portuguese man, we have a different setup growing up. So the female, the woman, she does the cleaning, take care of the kids, washing, you know. The man goes out and provide. He brings the salary home. And the reason why I'm neutral is because I'm not, I also respect my partner's format of growing up, how he handled things, how they grew up in their religion or their tradition, because being a multi-racial couple, it's challenging. So for me, I know that me taking care of the children, cooking, that is my role, and for him to be, but I know he also feels like, no, we should be 50-50, we should help each other. And that's okay, it's cool with me. I respect his decision and I respect his wishes.
For us, it's different. I have a strong personality. Well, when I was younger, I had a strong personality. I knew what I wanted. I didn't need a man to change the light bulb for me. I can change the light bulb for myself. I can change a tire. You know, if the tire is flat, I can change it. My dad taught me how to do it. So having my husband, well, back then, boyfriend, for him to come into my life and then telling me to let go of it, let me do it. It was very difficult for me because I'm independent like that. So I had to understand that yes, there are certain things that he can do and there's certain things that I can do, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm the only one who washes the dishes at home or he's the only one who changes the light bulb. Okay, he does, but currently majority of the things that are too difficult for me, he will say, no, babe, let me do it. You know, in our relationship, it's mixed masala. Like anybody does it.
Yeah. We have not lived together, so I wouldn't know properly on the roles that we should be playing. But I do know that submission should be one of them from the woman's perspective. And as a man, obviously, you lead your wife financially. You need to always step up. It doesn't mean that we have to be prideful in the sense of saying, no, but as a man, I'm doing the providing. I can't clean because I'm out there. That doesn't make sense. It just doesn't bring that equal ground to each other. Yeah.
I have no issue with that. It's just I believe that we have sort of rejected the patriarchal system of the husband, being way on top of where his wife is and things like that. So I just believe that in a relationship, there are gender roles, and it's not you do this, I do this. It's a connection
teamwork,
that it's teamwork.
So it's the same even with sexual intimacy. It's not like he has to initiate the situation.
Yes.
So
You both initiate.
Yes.
How?
Yeah, both, it's teamwork.
Wait, that laugh, brother. Please expand. Expand on the laugh.
I see people are trying so hard, to defend themselves on this thing about traditional roles, in relationships. It will never change. When you are a man in a relationship, you are a man. It doesn't change. When you are a woman, you know your responsibilities as a woman in a relationship. Yes, there should be 50-50 there, but let's not forget the important things like traditions.
Okay, so for me, it's growing up, my dad, he had that thing I'm the man, you dish up for me first. I don't clean, I don't cook. Cardi B, what? And I never agreed with that. And it's in my house with me and my wife, there's no gender. There's no you the woman, you do that, I'm the man, I do this. This thing of traditional, this is old school. This is the past. Yeah.
It's our time.
Times have changed.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone for being part of Choose Your Lane. We have learned so much more, traditional ways, non-traditional ways. Now type I'm typist and make sure that your friends know and they can be part of this conversation. It's important for us to have these conversations at all times. So head on over to ForeverWena.co.za to find out more information. There's a chat board right there. You can just find out everything that you need to know. Mina, I agree with the fact that you need to subscribe. Okay, you need to subscribe like right now, right? Without any further more to do, it's your boy PD Jokes, and this is ForeverWena. This is Onbona. Bye-bye. Bye.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Mpumezenda. I'm an OB-GYN sexologist. Oh, when we talk couples, it's always very tricky because we often think just because we're a couple, we have to decide or we have to agree on everything. Again, communication is still like one of the most important things. But for more information, please go to the website foreverwena.co.za. There is plenty to learn, spark that relationship, and make sure that you're prioritizing your sexual health and pleasure.